Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a how-to sort of video on chumming for sheepshead. So this time of the year is really big for sheepshead. It's the winter time. Yes, I have on short sleeve shirts, but I'm in Florida. It is really good out today. But even in the winter time here in Florida, there are times where the tide is affected, whether it's a slack tide, a low tide, or it's at the peak of the high tide coming in before it goes down. A lot of times the fish will just shut off on you. Chumming is a good way of getting the fish fired up so that way you can maximize your time out on the water to get some fish in the boat. So what I want to do today is take you through some of the things that I think about when I'm getting ready to chum. First thing that you need to find out if you're going to scrape barnacles is the fact, can you actually scrape barnacles in your area? So I did a quick Google search of can oysters or barnacles be used for sheepshead in Tampa. And so it brought me to the sheepshead page on our FWC, which is, the Florida Wildlife Commission. That's just the short version of it here. And so down here in this section, can they be used? And it goes on to explain about closed seasons for oysters and how you can actually scrape barnacles. I'll let you read that for your own, but this page actually, or this link, takes you to the oysters page, and it shows you a map of where you can actually see if you can, scrape barnacles or oysters in your area. So I am in Southern Gulf, and it takes me to this page. So as you see, I'm doing a little research before I, found out I can actually scrape barnacles. And so looking in my area, which is Lower Tampa Bay, where I normally go fishing, you can see that it is open. It's conditionally approved. So back over here on the sheepshead page, it says that you can legally harvest these shellfish if it's approved or conditionally approved and in an open status. So that is the key to this page here. So this is the shellfish harvest in your area for Southern Gulf. And as you can see, it is conditionally approved and open. So I can actually use the green mussels that grow, or just regular oysters that I scrape off of the pilings. But barnacles, I can scrape them anytime, as long as I'm not doing it on a person's private dock or private structure without the person's permission. So it is legal in my area. So that's the first thing I had to do, before I've ever scraped barnacles. So I did my little research. All right, guys, many of you may be thinking, when is a good time to actually scrape barnacles? Well, there's three things that I always look at. One, if I can actually see sheepshead around the pilings or the structures, and I know that they're keying on that structure itself, with their nose down, sometimes their tail up in the air, they're actually biting the barnacles off. So that's a good indication that scraping barnacles could actually get them fired up. A second indicator is that there are an abundance of barnacle growth on that piling or structure that you're actually fishing. That means that those pilings are a little bit older, and so it gives those barnacles a chance to grow, and that will draw more sheepshead to that area. The third thing is actually looking at your electronics to see if you mark fish if you're close to the pilings or the structures. A lot of you guys have side scan and stuff like that. Use your electronics and you'll be able to see if there are fish actually in that area around that structure. The next question you may have is, how do I actually chum? Well, the first thing is you have to get as close as you can to a pylon, especially if you're in a kayak. And you can have any simple tool to use to scrape the barnacles. So for instance, I use a simple garden spade tool. I have it underneath my seat in my kayak, but I have also seen guys use shovels. If they're in boats, even if you're in a small kayak, you can have a smaller shovel. But then also my buddy Brian uses a hatchet, and that is also good. You can get some leverage in getting some of those barnacles off there. And now you just have to put some muscle to it and scrape and scrape. It's best if you have on gloves because those barnacles are pretty sharp. So I didn't use the gloves this time, but it is most preferred because I have cut my hands up on those barnacles. Once you're done scraping, you want to immediately get a bait down in the area where the chum fell, because those fish now are looking for their prey that have fallen from the barnacles, whether it's a barnacle itself or crabs that have been dislodged. And so me using crabs in this particular instance had that crab right in the face of the sheep's head as they were feeding on the falling barnacles, because now their attention has been given to there's food. And so oftentimes, as soon as you finish chumming and you drop a bait down, you are rewarded with, in this particular instance, a nice fat sheep's head. All right, guys, I hope you found that video informative and that it helped. If you have any different suggestions, do me a favor. In the comments, leave a comment so that way I can see how you guys do things also. And if you did like this video, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. And if you have never subscribed before, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out and I really appreciate it. And then also share my channel with others, that way they can see the type of content that I'm putting out. All right, guys, this is the last video of the year. So I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'm gonna see you guys next year. I put out videos like this or fishing videos weekly. So do me a favor, check me out next week when I have another video for you. Until then, remember, God loves you. God bless you. May He keep you. Peace.